Hi, Gems and Jules. This is Corinthia Peoples with Power in My Pivots. Honey, I just had to come on here for a little bit, and we're gonna have a wonderful guest to introduce you for the guest for next Saturday. Well, actually, it's gonna be this Saturday. With all the happenings happening on, I just thought I would pop on and just do a little test. This is a test for Power in My Pivot on Saturday, where we will discuss how in our lives we're having to pivot. We have to change, whether that be a physical change, a spiritual shift, or changing simply our thoughts and our minds, honey. It is definitely time to pivot. So stay tuned and I will be right back. But remember, this is definitely a test. I am back. Yes. So, Power in My Pivot is a discussion where we unpack the details of our pivot, our transformation, whether our transformation is voluntary, voluntarily, circumstantially, or just by sheer survival. I have a special guest, Joyce Gordon, with Joyce Gordon Galleries in Oakland, California. She is I would want to call her a whippersnapper, honey. She is a woman that has set life on her own rules. She figures it out as she moves through, and she just takes life by the horn. I would like to introduce you to Joyce Gordon. And I just want you to all remember that this is a participatory endeavor. And if you have any comments for Joyce or any questions, please feel free to join in. So without further ado, I would like to bring in Joyce Gordon. Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Corinthia.
How
are you, darling?
I'm good. Joyce, I love you so much.
What is that?
You. I said, I love you and I respect you so much.
I love you too, Corinthia. I love your energy and your spirit and all of that. And guess what?
What?
When I grow up, I'm going to be just like you.
Ditto. Ditto. I'm going to be like you too. You know what, Joyce? It goes past the fact that you're a gallery owner and you're an entrepreneur. I like the way you move. I like the way you interact with so many different people. And I guess that will be a segue into my first question for you. And my first question is, do you see everybody as equal? Because it seems like you tend to treat everybody with love, with respect, with honor, regardless if it's the mayor of Oakland to the young lady who wants to launch her little campaign. How do you balance people in making everybody feel that they have a place with you?
Well, I think I find it easy to balance because I see everybody as a decent, loving, caring human being. And that's how I see people. And so when you see a person or everybody is the same, it's very easy to treat them the same.
So
I love people. I love getting to know them. And I believe that the only way that I can really get to know them and them know me is that I embrace them. And they can feel that it's genuine. So it just kind of breaks down all barriers or whatever. They're comfortable. And we just have a good time sharing.
Yeah.
And learning.
But what you do, Joyce, is really an art. It really, really is an art because you are able to treat everyone so beautifully, but yet you're still able to set boundaries and have a stern way. Like everybody knows that when they come in the gallery, don't put your chair against that wall. Oh,
Maybe it's from I don't know, raising two kids or growing up with seven brothers. Um, it's like with my kids, we talk, and they're really my best friends. And people would always say that your children cannot be your friends, but they can be your friends. But then there's a time, and they know when I become the parent, I am your mother.
mhm,
So I don't really know how to explain that. I
mhm.
just see it as really, truly just accepting people for who they are and where they are. And if necessary, to, um, I don't know, maybe make me comfortable or everybody else comfortable or them comfortable, as opposed to me coming to your level, I'm going to bring you with me to my level. And I just happen to think that, I mean, once you're a princess, what can I say? You just do that.
Yeah. So then so then that's what you do then. You bring people to where you are. You don't
Yes,
go, you stay neutral. You
yes.
stay neutral. No, even because I remember you telling me a story of a young man who was causing some wahala, some problems
Uh-huh,
in the
uh-huh,
community. And you said that to me that you could tell that that young man was a leader
uh-huh.
and you embraced him as if he were one of your sons, but he was just a young man off the street,
Absolutely.
and you impacted
See,
him. What is it about Joyce Gordon that is able to do that?
because I genuinely saw him as my son. I mean, I
Mhm.
knew he wasn't my son, but I approached him and I communicated with him the same way I would my son. And he could feel that. So that made him comfortable. So then he wanted to straighten up, pull his pants up and just be my son.
Mm.
And that's just, it's just very easy for me because I just genuinely love my people. I really do. And I just have this really thing for young people.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's easy. You
You
just
do.
love genuinely. It's not pretentious. I don't want anything from him but for him to be the best him
Mm. Do you
and
think
respect him.
that's why the gallery has the gallery, the Joyce Gordon Gallery has an energy. It's like home, you
You
know?
know, a lot of the young people, they tell me that. What they say is it's a safe place.
Mm,
'Cause I embrace them like they are my children, and they are.
mhm.
They are my community children.
Yes.
And I could give you lots of different examples of different things that have happened. And a lot of times, like you say with me about the chair, I like things a certain way. I like pretty, I like uh, space and all of that. And I don't want anyone to come in and change anything. I don't even want you to move a chair.
Right. No. We know.
So they get that, and there on occasions where there have been events here, and I say, don't put the cup on the piano. Okay, Miss Joyce. And then I look around, they put the cup on the piano. Did I say don't put the cup on the piano?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. They do it again, and I come back and it's like, what do I have to do to you? You know, don't you understand?
Yeah.
Now, do I need to? I mean, what do I need to do? What do I need to say? Because you're getting ready to be on restriction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh, and I know they're genuinely sorry, because you're not thinking and you're talking and you know, and so you just automatically do that.
Yeah.
No, we're not having that. I'm not having that.
Mm.
Hold up.
Yes. Joyce, you mentioned about how I want to go back to that young man because that's not the only young man that you've impacted. You mentioned how he wanted to straighten up and pull up his pants.
Mhm.
Do you think that for a lot of the young men on the streets of Oakland, California, that you resemble a mother type of energy that they
I think I
long for?
resemble a grandmother, which in a lot of cases is more important than the mother because a lot of young people are raised by their grandparent, their grandmother. And there's something, if you think back with your grandmother, there's something about your grandmother that you don't want to disappoint. You don't want to you don't want to disrespect. You just want to do right by Granny. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
want to do right by your mother too, but more importantly, grandmother is just it's just really important to you.
Yeah, she is. She's
Yeah.
special. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
because oftentimes you can go to grandmother to get things that your mother won't do, give
ab-
you or whatever. And you
absolutely.
can and your grandmother, they don't really judge you. They just tell you the way it's going to be and the way it's not going to be, in terms of how they want you to do things. And
Yes.
so, I mean, every time this young man would pass the gallery, he'd be coming up the street, his pants hanging, and he's look up, starts pulling up his pants, and he's cussing it, and he gets closer to me, and he changes his whole thing because he knows I'm for real. He knows I'm really loving him and caring about him and listening to him.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
we all feel that way about you, Joyce. I know I feel that way about you, and I know Eric feels that way, and all the core of us that are like your adopted children and or
Mhm.
your community kids, let's just say that. We all feel that way. So Joyce, let me ask you this. This is a test for Saturday.
Okay.
I have stay tuned for just so many wonderful gems that Joyce is going to drop. And she's agreed to go deeper than just the surface with me.
Okay.
So, Joyce, I want to ask you on this test, what would you like to leave um, the mid age, my generation, with? Let's say 28 to 48. What would you like to say to us about love and loss?
Well, I think the first thing that I would say about love is loving yourself, everything about yourself. And that you don't love, then you work on it until you get to that point where you truly, truly love yourself. When you love yourself, you're more confident. When you're more confident, you're willing, it's easier for you to take risks and do things that you imagine or dream of doing.
Hmm.
Because, like my father would tell me, there's no such thing as can't if there's something you want to do. And I think that a lot of young people kind of hold back because whatever it is that they imagine or think that they may want to do, they're a lot of times they're afraid to even say it because it sounds so far-fetched
Hmm.
or unreachable. But
Yeah.
everything is reachable. If it comes up in your mind, if
Yeah.
you can imagine it, it's there. You can do it.
Yeah. If you could,
Yeah.
you said you could think it, you can, if you could think it, you could be it. Absolutely. So, Joyce,
And
I
I
was
don't know, when you say about love and loss,
lost.
I don't know, there's a lot of different ways I can. You can look at that. You know, you love in relationships, you love in different kinds of relationships, and you love in business, whatever it is you're doing. Um, so I don't know if it's a loss. I think when it leaves or when it expires, I think when that time is up, either in that relationship, in that marriage, in that whatever, it's not so much that you've lost because you've had a lot of experience all the time that you were in it.
Yeah.
It just means that the time is up. Everything and everybody has an expiration date. And so it doesn't mean that you've lost anything. It just means that it's the beginning of something else.
Mm.
And once you can believe that or whatever, then you don't, I don't know,
You know,
you don't
more.
go into this lost
And this morning.
this morning uh,
Mm.
kind of situation. And
Okay.
then when you're in those kinds of those relationships or whatever they are, and it has expired, if you think about all the experiences and what you shared and what you've learned, it's still with you. So you haven't lost. It's just expired. And let's move on to the next thing.
Joyce,
And that's what keep you living. That's
that
what
was a
that's
gem.
what gives you life.
We gonna pause right there.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
that was a gem.
Was that a gem?
Oh,
Go,
oh, that was a gem. So I just want to recap that. Joyce, oh my God, that was a gem. So when things finish or when it's not,
expired.
they're not, it's not a loss, it's just an expiration. And it's time for something new to come in. So don't even worry ourselves with mourning or tears or hurt or pain. Just be open for the new to come forward and the other thing to just be released because it was an expiration. It's expired.
And mourning, tears, and all of that, but just appreciate the experience and not think of what you've lost, but think of what you experienced.
Oh, Joyce, that is awesome. That is
Is
awesome.
that awesome?
Okay, so what did you say, Joyce? I didn't hear you. Did you say something? I'm sorry.
I said, is that whatever it is? Okay,
That
great.
was Joyce. Okay, so you guys, Joyce, I want to thank you. I'm
You're
looking
welcome.
forward to our full conversation on Saturday. On Saturday at 11 Pacific Standard Time, 11 in the morning. This Saturday, we're going to do a full hour with Joyce Gordon, the founder, proprietor, and owner of the Joyce Gordon Gallery in Oakland, California. Joyce, hang back. Let me just finish out this test. This is a test. Hang on, Joyce. I'm going to put you backstage for a minute and we're going to close out the test. Okay?
Okay.
So hold on for me. Thank you. So, Gems and Jewels, honey, you're up for a treat. I am going to be interviewing Joyce on Saturday for an hour-long interview, and she's agreed to go deeper than a surface kind of interview. I'm going to ask her some great questions. Even just now, that was, oh, I don't know if you guys heard what she said about not mourning our losses, but know that they're expired, and to not focus on the loss, but to focus on the experiences that we had while we were in the thing, whatever that is. A person, a place, a job, a situation, a town, a state of mind, whatever that is. This is Power in My Pivot. And I am Corinthia Peoples, your host. And I am looking so forward to seeing you back here on Saturday with a special edition with Joyce Gordon. on Saturday. I believe that's January 9th at 11 Pacific, 2, 11, 12, 1. I always have to do that. 1 o'clock Central and 2 o'clock Eastern, right here on Power in My Pivot. Stay well, stay wonderful, and I will see. Wait, there was a comment. Deborah Zanetta, yes, give thanks. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, sisters, and thank you, Deborah, Bedford, and Zanetta, for chiming in, for putting in a comment. I appreciate all of you who found value and power in my pivot in these conversations that we have. So stay tuned, and I will see you on Saturday. And please remember, life is still beautiful no matter what's going on in the world. You create your reality. See you on Saturday. Bye.